Let the rhythm hit 'em.
Guys, back with a fresh vinyl review. Today we're looking at the Winter Wonderfest 2012 X Plus 25cm Godzilla 73 and Jet Jaguar. Okay, so when did this come out? Like I just said, this came out for the Winter Wonder Festival in Japan in 2012. See up here on top of the box it says Winter Wonder Festival 2012 and Winter. That little right after the 2012 that says Winter. That's how you know. So then we got Godzilla 73 and Jet Jaguar Wonderfest exclusive, yada yada yada. Little information, there was only 100 of these made. 100, okay? Just another little tidbit. This was one of my first purchases with X Plus back in 2013. Bam! So, pricing on this probably went, I think, around maybe $200 or so when it came out. Wonderfest exclusives are a little bit more money than the standards. Also because this came with two 25cm figures, and it's a set, and it's only limited to 100, okay? So let's look at the box real quick. Get out of the way, Jet Jaguar. Box, no window display. It's a brown cardboard box with the information on the front like we just looked at. The back, you got your legal jargon. Inside, you have the basic plastic housing and whatnot, and that's literally all there is to it, okay? So that's the box. Bam. Alright, a few things before we get into reviewing both of these figures. I had previously done the 25cm Godzilla 73. I have not done a Jet Jaguar review until now. This figure actually was released as a standalone figure. You know, actually, I'm not sure when that came out. I think that was in 2000, might have been 2011 or 12. I'd have to check. But I don't have the standard. This is the only Jet Jaguar I have. So the standard, he actually comes with a different pose and different arms or hands, I think. I forget. I have to check. So there's a couple people out there that have the standard Jet Jaguar. Wayne Daniels, I know you have one. Bam! I'm starting to think about maybe I should hunt him down and get the standard, because, well, why not, right? But anyway, so this is the Wonderfest version. And then what we're going to do in the review, we're going to compare the Wonderfest Godzilla 73 to the standard Godzilla 73, okay? So you guys can see the differences. Alright, so Winter Wonderfest 2012, 25cm Godzilla 73 and Jet Jaguar from Godzilla vs. Megalon. Bam! Alright, let's get into the review. Alright guys, let's rock and roll. We're going to be looking at these figures at the same time. We're going to be reviewing them together as a set, just like they came together as a set. Okay, so let's look at Godzilla first. Typical Godzilla figure. We got the tree bark skin. It's painted dark gray. And, you know, it's just standard. This is what you would expect out of a Godzilla figure. Dorsal plates, let's look at those first. Painted up, it's sculpted nicely. These are painted mostly white, and as you can see, Godzilla's, you know, skin, as these dorsal plates grow out, you can see the highlights here of the dark gray growing, or, you know, working its way up the dorsal plate, so that looks good. On both sides, it's the same deal. Very nice. Toenails. Both feet, you got 3 toenails on both feet. Those are painted bone white. Same thing with the fingernails here. These are bone white. Actually, I actually like how this is sculpted there, because he's got like one little finger just kind of like pointing out. Hey, you over there, come over here, huh? All right. So, anyways, so that looks good. I also really like, you know, how these are painted up, nicely done, sculpted, beautiful. The tail, look at the tail. Tail, much like the standard 73, you know, it's sculpted the same exact way. Got a little bit of articulation there, but that's where you're going to put the tail on. So you got the joint there. You got another seam over here. But you want to have them all lined up, those dorsal plates, so the tail just kind of droops down like that. Okay? Legs are clean around the thighs. There's no seam there. Right around the kneecaps, there is a seam though, but that doesn't move. Along the feet, no seams around the heels, but like I said, just under the kneecaps on both of these. You got seams right there. You got seams over here on the arms. We're going to look at the arms compared to the standard in a minute. The face is beautifully done. The teeth are all individually sculpted. The inside of the mouth is painted a pinkish red. You got the same deal going on with the tongue. That looks good. The head, you have a seam around the head here, right around the just the upper top part of the neck. So that looks pretty, it's not that bad. The one thing about these figures, it's easy to hide, is the seams in most spots, is these seams, because Godzilla's tree bark skin, it just flows, from one segment of the figure to another. But if you look over here, right along this seam, now that's kind of ugly, and that actually kind of moves, but, that's an ugly seam. So it's not really hidden very well at all, but that's okay. I'm not really complaining too much. This one's not so bad, okay? So now the eyes, let's look at the finer detail points here on the eyes. The eyes are just awesome looking. Much like the standard 73, his eyes have a lot of circle in there, just defining those pupils, so that looks really awesome. And of course, the face, sculpted perfectly to look like the 73 suit. He's just kind of got this big old puppy dog look to him. Like he's barking. He's kind of yelling here. Rah! Looks good. I dig it. Now, there's one thing that's going to be kind of hard to see. Well, we'll look at the pictures. But if you look right here, I think you can see. Yeah, you can see. Let's bring it up closer. Right here. Let me focus. Focus on that. And then, alright, it's not that good anyways. But right here, you could see this seam. It's not a seam in the figure. It's a seam on the suit. That's where the suit actor got in and out of the Godzilla suit. So that looks pretty good like that. I love how they captured those little small details right there. Okay? Now, mind you, this is the Wonderfest, so if we're talking about seams again, you see the seam back here? Well, why is it like that? Because on the standard version, you were able to pop the head off and replace it with an open mouth head. Well, we'll look at that in a minute. Alright, let's look at Jet Jaguar. Okay, Jet Jaguar looking awesome. He really knows how to pop with all these colors here. But the colors are just popping on this figure. I love... We got the reds, the yellows, the silver highlights, blues, and the kneecaps. We got it all. I mean, everything is just spot on. The paint job is just amazing. I really love taking pictures of this figure because he pops so well. I mean, you can just tell from looking at the video here, he is popping. Detail is great. I love how on the head you have his antennas, that when he was flying or, doing some search and reconnaissance or whatever he was doing, looking for Godzilla, these would come out, but they don't pop out here. The eyes look awesome. Really digging the eyes. The face is sculpted perfectly. He's got the, his, just that nostalgic Jet Jaguar smile right there. So that looks really cool. The design is crisp. All these designs here, everything is just crisp. Nice and clean, sharp, defined, looking good. The emblem down here, that looks pretty cool. I'm not really sure what that emblem means. It just defines that it's Jet Jaguar. Pretty cool. The back looks awesome. All the frills and everything from, because he is a robot, so you could look at these as like shock absorbent for being a robot or whatnot. This right here, this is how this would come down and the suit actor would get in and zip up from that, so that looks pretty good. Love how they capture that. If you look on the back of the head, you got little rivets and everything right there. That looks pretty good. Everything is nicely done. This figure looks good. The face, I think the face is like definitely, it just hits its mark. So, let's talk about joints and seams. Really hard to tell if there's any on here. Let's take them off. Let me look. Yep, there's seams on the feet, but you don't really want to mess with those. We'll talk about the feet in a second, but the legs, no seams. Kneecaps, no seams. The arms do move. If you've seen one of my other reviews earlier from a while ago, I did do some stop motion with him. It was pretty hard because this is all the articulation I had. I think it was a Baragon review, so you're going to have to do some research and find that one. I'll put in the link when I find it. But anyway, so articulation there. But again, this is not going to ruin anything if you want to move the arms because it doesn't take away from, the look of the figure. So you could move those arms up and down. Not a big deal. And no articulation at the head, even though it does feel like this was put on. It does feel like there's a seam there. So that looks good. Now, to make him stand up, you have to use this clear plate. There's a little nub right here. And on the bottom of the foot, you see that hole? You just marry those two together, and that's how he keeps his balance. Because actually, for the longest time, I didn't know I had this plate here, And I just had Jet Jaguar still on the shelf, just on his own 2 feet. So one day I pulled out the box, and I'm like, oh, look at this. I got a plate to go with that. I'm like, might as well just use it just because it's there. Keep him secure. So there you have it. All right, so that's Jet Jaguar. Everything looks great on him. Detail, sculpt, attention to detail, it's perfect. Looks really, really good. Bam. All right, let's pull up the standard Godzilla 73 right there and compare this with the Wonderfest 73. So I did this in the standard review. You know, we compared them, but here's the Rick Boy head that comes with the standard. So this head pops off, this one goes on, and now you can see that these heads are nearly identical, okay? But what's the difference here? We got the difference between the arms are positioned differently, okay? Those are in, these are kind of out, and the heads. But if I wanted to change this head out and put this one on, they'll look nearly identical. But of course, the arms are different. So, okay, there's a difference between those two. And size comparison, bam. You know, actually, the standard stands a little bit taller than the Wonderfest by, I don't know, a little bit. Not too much, but you can see the difference there. Not a big deal, okay? So, let's do a size comparison with a 30cm figure. How's about that? Bam! Alright, what we're looking at here is a 25cm Jet Jaguar and Godzilla 73 size comparison with the 30cm Godzilla 64. Rick Boy. Bam. Light up fins. Oh, but he's kind of hard to see in frame because of the way I have the camera set up. So, but that's just to give you an idea of how big the 30cm is to the 25s, okay? So if I want to creep it up a little bit, hold on. Ooh. Okay, so there we go. So we got 30cm Godzilla 64 with 25s, okay? Bam. So there's your size comparison. As you can see, 30cm clearly stand taller than the 25s. That is obvious. Okay? Alright, let's go back to the table for final thoughts. Alright, final thoughts. Here we go. Let's go. So, first off, these figures are fresh. Certified fresh. They don't smell fresh anymore, but, you know, when they get together with all the brothers up here, yeah, that fresh starts fermenting. It smells really, really good. Okay? I love these figures. Jet Jaguar was awesome. I think he's really, 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 really detailed really well. Really well. Everything pops on him. Godzilla's awesome. You know, I still prefer the standard because he's got the closed mouth, but this is a great figure too. So, if you're looking for these figures, you know, keep your eye open on them because they don't really pop up all that often. And when they do, don't hesitate. If you think you want it, you better jump on it. And at the current moment, there are no reissues for these two figures at all. At the current moment. These are the only time they were reissued. It's for the Wonderfest, and that was in 2012. So, bam. Okay? So, final thoughts. We are certified fresh, people. Awesome. Okay. So, make sure you check out the standard review for this that I did previously, if you want to check out the standard version. And go to freshvinylhq.com. Hit me up on Facebook. You guys can send me a friend request. I'm open for that. That's pretty cool with me. Ask questions, comments. You know, how can I help you? You want to buy a shirt? Message me. Bam! Got fresh vinyl shirts. That's what's up. And other stuff and things. So, that's all I got. Alright, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye, vinyl. Fresh vinyl. Weird noises. Don't ask me why. Bye.